Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Yasodanandana Raja Janardana Yasodanandana Raja Janardana Yasodanandana Raja Janardana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shirate Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Shirate Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe Lalita Visakha Lalita Visakha Lalita Visakha Jaya Lalita Visakha Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Lima Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Tinamani Prabhupada Sasayityam Yapakasha Kircha Pacharan Kirvan Shalugatpati Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Adinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyanam Gyana Shalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Serupang Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sivisakamvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaniswari Visavano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kipa Sindhuvya evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrta, Chapter 4 of the Adi Leela, the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance, texts 21 and 22. Somehow, we have this great fortune to hear Chaitanya Charitamrta. As Srila Prabhupada says, this is the doctorate level of spiritual knowledge, starting from Shisha Upanishad, then Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrta. Prabhupada has given us everything. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Mora putra mora saka mora pranapati E bhavi ye more kare śuddha bhakti Apana ke badamane amarismahina Sei babi hai ami tahara adhina Mora putra mare saka mora pranapati E babi ye more kare śuddha bhakti Apana ke badamane amare samahina Sei babi hai ami tahara adina Mora putra mora saka mora patapati Mataji's. Pati. Another. Seiba bihai amitara adina. Word for word meaning? Mora, my. Putra, son. Mora, my. Sakhā, friend. Mora, my. Pranapati, Lord of life. Bhave, in this way. Yea, those who more unto me, kare, do, śuddha-bhakti, pure devotion, ārohaṇa, himself, baḍa, great, mane, he regards, amare, me, sama, equal, hina, or lower, say bhave, in that way, I am, ami, I, tahara, to him, adhina, subordinate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Everybody please repeat. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Purport. In the Chaitanya Charitamrta, 3 kinds of devotional service are described, namely bhakti, ordinary devotional service, śuddha-bhakti, pure devotional service, and vaidha-bhakti, mixed devotional service. When devotional service is executed with some material purpose, involving fruitive activities, mental speculations, or mystic yoga, it is called mixed or adulterated devotional service. Besides Bhakti Yoga, the Bhagavad Gita also describes Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. Yoga means linking with the Supreme Lord, which is possible only through devotion. fruitive activities ending in devotional service, philosophical speculation ending in devotional service, and practice of mysticism ending in devotional service are known respectively as karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. But such devotional service is adulterated by the three kinds of material activities. For those grossly in identifying the body as the self, pious activity or karma yoga is recommended. For those who identify the mind with the self, philosophical speculation or jnana yoga is recommended. But devotees standing on the spiritual platform have no need of such material conceptions of adulterated devotion. Adulterated devotional service does not directly aim to love for love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, service performed strictly in conformity with the revealed scriptures is better than such Vaidya Bhakti, because it is free from all kinds of material contamination. It is executed in Krishna consciousness solely to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are spontaneously devoted to the Lord and have no aims for material gain are called attracted devotees. They are spontaneously attracted to the service of the Lord, and they follow in the footsteps of self-realized souls. Their pure devotion, śuddha-bhakti, manifested from pure love of Godhead, surpasses the regulative principles of the authoritative scriptures. Sometimes loving ecstasy transcends regulative principles. Such ecstasy, however, is completely on the spiritual platform and cannot be imitated. The regulative principles help ordinary devotees rise to the stage of perfect love of Godhead. Pure love for Krishna is the perfection of pure devotion, and pure devotional service is identical with spontaneous devotional service. Flawless execution of regulative principles is exhibited in the Vaikuntha planets. By strictly executing these principles, one can be elevated to the Vaikuntha planets. But spontaneous, pure loving service is found in Krishna loka alone. Mora putra mora saka mora pranapati, ebaviye mora kare śuddha-bhakti, apana ke badamani amare samahina, sebabi hai ami tahara adina. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One of the names of Lord Krishna is Asamurdha. No one is greater than him, and no one is equal with him. He is supreme. He is beyond everything. He is the source of everyone. Everything emanates from him. He is the cause of all causes. Even bhakti comes from him. So how is it? It says here, that he becomes subordinate. He becomes subordinate to his devotees. That means bhakti is greater than him. It's not the devotees become greater or superior than him, but the love of his devotees is so great that Krishna is willing to be subservient or even a servant of his own devotees. This is how Krishna is perfect. If you're just, like in other religions though, they don't have this concept of Krishna or God or the Supreme to be subservient. Only in our philosophy, only in our teachings, how we can see and how ultimately Krishna will give himself to his devotees. So that is love. Of course, maybe some of you already have that level of love where you can realize Lord Krishna's position as being subordinate from his devotees. But from what we heard or hear from here, that Krishna, he doesn't appreciate more like the recitation of the Vedas, more than Nanda Baba asking him to bring his chapal, or him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, driving the chariot of his devotee. Are we able to see that in the mundane platform, that the boss will be the driver and the worker will be behind? Have you seen anything like that? I don't think so. That's not possible. But in the transcendental platform, everything is possible. Even the most unimaginable. So how is it that Krishna gives himself to his devotee? It's hard to understand this. Yeah, it says that Krishna is more eager than us to go back home, back to Godhead than we do. And if you go go forward towards Lord Krishna, he will take 10 steps towards us. This is only in the spiritual platform. In the mundane platform, or if someone would like to come to you, you may be thinking, oh, shall I entertain him or not? Shall I say yes, or maybe you should wait? Oh, Krishna is so amazing, huh? But there is a process how the Lord reciprocates like this. According to the acharyas, we have to follow certain guidelines in order to come to the platform of pure devotional service. When we say pure devotional service, that means spontaneous love for Krishna. It's beyond rules and regulations. But in the beginning, we have to follow this. We have to be regulated. According to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the summary study is The Nectar of Devotion by Srila Prabhupada. We have to follow sadhana bhakti, vaidhi sadhana bhakti, and then raganuga bhakti, spontaneous love. So in the beginning, we don't even have a clue who is Krishna. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, first accept Krishna as God. And because his pure devotee is saying that, somehow we must have performed some pious activities from the past, that we have come to the platform, that we have that tinge of faith of what Srila Prabhupada is saying. The process of, even the beginning of bhakti is not meant for the sinful people. No. No way. I know someone. They're so sinful, they don't want to take up the process. But there must be something that lies within our heart from the past. Or, as Srila Prabhupada says, I gave you your fortune to take up this process. Both ways. But more, Srila Prabhupada has given us this fortune. I don't know. I cannot think of anything that I have performed in the past that to be here with you all, having darshan. You know the best moment in Krishna consciousness? To have darshan of the Lord. That's why everyone is squeezing. Everyone is wanting to be in the front. To see the transcendental form of the Lord. This is the perfection. But right now, our senses are contaminated. At least we can appreciate the beauty of the Lord. Our senses, when it becomes purified, it will become fully awakened. But at the moment, still contaminated. So we have to follow the process of this Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, which is following the rules and regulations, getting up early in the morning. It's like Sanatana Goswami, he wrote this Hari Bhakti Vilas, which give us guidelines, what to do, what mantras to say. Just as soon as we wake up early in the morning, how to brush our teeth, and so on, how to put on tilak. It seems to be like, wow, do I have to follow all of this? Well, if you chant purely the holy name of the Lord, you don't have to follow any of these things. The Prabhupada says, I wrote these books to convince us to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because that is the culmination. According to the degree of our purity, we are also chanting the holy name in Sudanam. So in the beginning, we are offensive. We don't know what to do or what not to do. That's why we have to read Srila Prabhupada's books. Be the guide. And he says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in one of his books that we should try to understand first what is Kevala Bhakti, Amnaya Bhakti, Sudha Bhakti, Vishuddha Bhakti. Then we can understand what is mixed Bhakti. So in pure devotional service, it says one cannot perform this until after liberation. So right now, maybe some of you are already performing that pure bhakti, but for most of us, we're just attempting to do bhakti. We're not on that platform yet. I know I'm not on that platform. There's still a lot of cleansing of the heart, anarthas, to be washed out, to be uprooted. How to do this? So we have to follow what the previous acharyas and Srila Prabhupada has told us to do. And if we do it in toto, if we do it right up to the mark, but even if not to the mark, but we should be trying to do it. Krishna only wants to see our sincerity. That is the most important here. But if we are lacking, if we are liturgic, this is in the mode of ignorance. According to the teachings of Lord Kapila Dev to Mother Devahuti, there are three types of how one can perform bhakti. One in a mode of ignorance, one in a mode of passion, and one in a mode of goodness. But then there is pure. It's like we have one devotee here from Italy. I met him. Never met him for a long time. Haven't met him for a long time. Para-bhakti. Para-bhakti means topmost. Everything else is under the jurisdiction of Maya. So it is not bhakti. There is a tinge of bhakti if the purpose is to ultimately serve the pure, unalloyed, loving, devotional service towards the Supreme Lord. Even one who is in the mode of ignorance performing bhakti, ultimately, if he continues to do so, but not to offend Vaishnavas, otherwise it could be curtailed. Vaishnava Parad is the last thing that we cannot afford to do. So in the mode of ignorance, what is bhakti in the mode of ignorance? That means performing bhakti grudgingly, angrily, with envy. I've seen some devotees like this. Seems to be always angry. But they are sincere. So we give them as much as possible the opportunity to continue doing bhakti. But to the point that they commit a parad, especially Vaishnava parad, Hare Krishna. Yes, the mode of passion. One who is performing bhakti in the mode of passion, that means he is only wanting name and fame, adoration, wanting wealth in exchange for one's service. But this is not the same as maintenance. As Prabhupada says, if you want more than what we can provide to you, then you go find a job. But if you distribute books, you don't need to go for a job. There's so much abundance of wealth will come. Some grihastas, they can live through book distribution. They can maintain their family through book distribution. But then you should not do this in the name of spreading the holy name or chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is not the same. One will perform like Sankirtan. Of course, Prabhupada says, if they invite us, you should charge them. We read them one time, right? If they invite us, you should charge them. But at home, free. We don't charge anything here. In some kirtans areas in Vrindavan, they do kirtan, but they are being paid. Here in Vrindavan are 24 hours, Kevala Bhakti. No. So, how about devotional service in the mode of goodness? Devotional service in the mode of goodness means you're doing it out of duty. You're doing it out of duty. It's like, let's say, you have to do the artik, or you have to offer boga, but then you forgot that you're supposed to do the artik. Sometimes it may happen. So that becomes mode of ignorance now. But if you come, even without the spontaneous love, because pure devotional service means spontaneous love with action towards the Supreme Lord and His devotees. So, what is pure devotional service? We've heard that in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anyavila Shita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anabritam, Anukulyena Krishnanam, Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. That Uttama, the word was used by Srila Rupa Goswami. Uttama, the topmost bhakti. No one can cannot have the tinge of material things, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So like when Srila Prabhupada first arrived in the Boston Pier Harbor in USA from the ship Jaladuta, he was walking and he saw under the bridge there was a sign, unalloyed steel. You know what unalloyed means? No mixture. Not like the milk in Vrindavan. You'll say, oh yeah, pure, pure, yes. I will even ask our milk supplier. He says, Suda guy, dude? Yes. But no, how can you make certain that this is really pure? The best way is to have yourself a cow. Then you will see. So if the message, because bhakti, knowing bhakti should be only be received from the absolute source. To perform bhakti, it has to be coming from the absolute source. And as Prabhupada says, our main source is Krishna, through Guru Parampara. That's why bhakti has to be performed without any desire for karma or jnana. Prabhupada says here, bhakti, three bhaktis. One is bhakti, ordinary devotional service. What does that mean? Is there an ordinary devotional service? Yes. Prabhupada says here. See, when one, especially grihastas, they work. Now, their work may not have direct engagement in bhakti, but if the result, the fruits of their work, the actions, is divided for them to maintain themselves, the family, and also give to Krishna, that is bhakti. Karma yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Karma yoga, action in Krishna consciousness is also bhakti, but may not be directly involved. It's like the brahmacharis we have here at the temple, or some of our congregation members. They're fully engaged 24 hours, as much as possible. And then, there is another one, Vaida Bhakti, mixed devotional service. Now, this mixed devotional service means, as we've heard here from Prabhupada's purport, that according to the Bhagavad Gita also, there are three main yogas. Yoga means to link up with the Supreme. The living entity's eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord can be covered up, but it is always there. So yoga means to revive that eternal connection, that eternal relationship with Lord Krishna. So there is karma yoga, jnana yoga, and then bhakti yoga. Yes? So again, bhakti yoga can be mixed under the modes of ignorance, passion, and ignorance. And then, when one performs activities only meant to desire to fulfill one's sense enjoyment, when he only desires to fulfill the senses, to enjoy the sense objects, but then at the same time, he's doing a little bit of bhakti. That is mixed. That is mixed bhakti. If he continues to do that, Like some people, they do worship different demigods, or also Lord Krishna is there alone with the worship. Huh? It's like you go to Loy Bazaar. In the morning they do puja for their store, or the commodities will be sold, all of them. So that is mixed bhakti. They're worshiping God. They're worshiping the Lord. Now, when one becomes sick and tired of this, he wants to become detached materially. Now he wants to cultivate knowledge. He wants to cultivate knowledge by studying the Vedas, by following what the Vedas says, but not ultimately come to the conclusion that Vasudeva Sarvam Iti, that I have to ultimately focus my worship unto Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. And if he starts to speculate, he's worshiping the Lord and different demigods also. Because pure bhakti means no other engagement except pleasing Lord Krishna. Or Srimati Radharani, Krishna Balaram, Gaura-Nitāya. They may have a little bit of tinge of bhakti there, so that is also mixed. But pure bhakti, no. No. We don't need to experiment in bhakti, performing bhakti. It's been already chalked out for all of us. And as Prabhupada says, if you have a better way to attain love of God, please let us know. We may try to do it, but you cannot go beyond this. Been there, done that. We must perform all types of charities or austerities. We must have been to all the holy places. We come here. The whole purpose why we are here is to attain pure bhakti. Nothing else. Nothing else. Everything that we do here, everything that Prabhupada gave to us, he's engaging us in different activities throughout the whole day, is ultimately to attain bhakti. Now, if there are any desires beyond this, then it may take us a long while to attain that platform. It may take us a long time. So it depends on our priority. It's like whenever I travel, most of the grihastas, their main difficulty is, I don't have time. I don't have time. Maharaj, what to do? I have to work. Huh? If you are in the computers, you have computer work, Hare Krishna, good luck. You work 12 hours. There was one devotee who was telling me, when he came first to America, his wife literally was feeding him while he's typing in the computer. There's no time to eat. He's not lying, it's true. Some of our, devotees, they have one full-time job and two part-time jobs. And then they cannot even see their children. There's one devotee in Dubai. He says, Maharaj, my daughter, she's complaining to me. I'm not giving enough time to her. And there's only one daughter. Now, what if you have like 5 children? What's going to happen? So we have to give our time. It's not so difficult. It's not so difficult. We just have to perform some austerities here. Without austerities, then there is no advancement in Krishna consciousness. So, this bhakti is the most valuable jewel. We have to keep this in a safe place. we have to guard this. We have to be careful not to just put it aside. And we have to, again, this morning, we were reading about chanting of the holy name of the Lord. This is our main priority. Hearing and chanting, reading Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada says, along with chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one should read my books. And he says that my main criticism to my disciples is that they're not reading enough. So we should find some time during our busy schedule, the whole day, to put some time aside to read and associate with devotees. Srila Jiva Goswami was saying in his Bhakti Sandarbha that we should search for a pure devotee to have his association. And that pure devotee is the spiritual master. That's why we should be very eager to associate with our spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada, we can associate with him by reading his books every day. What about if our spiritual master is not here anymore? Well, he's with us in spirit, and we can read his books. We can try to remember his instructions. Then ultimately, hope against hope, that one day we'll come to the platform of pure bhakti and we'll see Krishna face to face. We'll be able to talk with him. We'll be able to be with him, interact with him. But this is rare. And only in Raganuga Bhakti that one can go back to Krishna loka. Prabhupada says here in the purport, spontaneous pure loving service is found only in Krishna loka, alone. But even to attain Vaikuntha loka is not so easy. That's not so easy. You still have to follow the same procedures. But serving the Lord with awe and reverence. Unlike in our parampara, we've heard great personalities, even like Bamsidas, Babaji Maharaj. He will scold his Gornitai deities. Today you're not going to eat. No. Can we do that to Radhesham, Krishna Balarama Gornitai? I don't think so. We have to do it on time. As Prabhupada says, deity worship means punctuality and cleanliness. But Bamsidas Babaji Maharaj, no. He will carry Gornitai, he will hang them, the branches of the tree. Okay, today you'll have a big feast. But then after a few days, no, you should fast today. we cannot do that, isn't it? And even those who are on the platform of pure bhakti, externally, they follow. Like a neophyte devotee. He still has to chant his rounds. He still has to get up early in the morning. Let me read to you the result of pure bhakti. Will end here. He does not wish for any other engagement except serving the Lord and his devotees. He has no fear. How is that? Because he knows Krishna will protect him. Krishna will always be there besides him. He does not envy an object. The opposite of love is envy. As long as we are here in the material world, and that's why we're still in the material world, we still have a little bit of envy. For others, of course, they're here in the material world to help others to get out of envy. He does not enjoy sensually. That means he doesn't hanker for any material sense enjoyment. And he does not endeavor for anything mundane. Either for karma and gyan. Okay, I stop here. Any question? Haribo? Where is back the mic? Oh, over
Hare
there.
Krishna.
Closer.
So, according to the modes and the way you described it, when we're beginning, we have to come to Mangalartik and we have to chant rounds and we have to attend class. But after a while, we feel like we want to instead of feeling like we have to. It's a whole different. We get to. I mean, the class is so wonderful. I get to come to this. How could I miss it? You know,
first, it's a duty.
Yes.
And then it becomes spontaneous. It becomes love. Like Prabhupada gave an example. A child, he doesn't want to go to school. Yeah, the mother has to drag the child to go to school. But then when the child knew that, oh, there's so many boys, young boys and girls here, I can play with them. Then the next day, he'll be awake before the mother. So eager to go to the school. This should be, number one should be determined. In bhakti, to become successful, one should be determined to attain love of God. It's like the materialists, they're also very determined to enjoy, so they work hard. This becomes our lifestyle now. We don't have to, no one has to tell us, hey Prabhu, you have to get up. But for the newcomers, hey Prabhuji, sometimes you have to squirt some water into the face. Yeah? Does anyone have to tell you have to come and have darshan of the Lord? No. That's the most desirable, to see Krishna. Yeah, but in the beginning, oh no. So you're right.
If we miss it, we feel like we're unfortunate.
Yeah, if we miss it, our day is not the same. Not the same anymore. Yes. You have a question here? Please. These slokas, it could be like so many series because we have not touched many things. We just started from the beginning. Okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So you describe devotional service like in the different modes that one can perform. So that's definitely not pure devotional service. But we also have a philosophy out there that if one is in the bathing process, then
if one is in the
bathing process,
yes,
that we're dirty, but we're in the shower, so you can't criticize us for not being clean as yet. So how do you tie the two together?
Prabhupada's formula is that he wants to encourage. It's just like not you, but some devotees, they have long hairs. Prabhupada says, what can I say? I'm an old man. You know that you should not have this long hair or beard. Śuddha-sakhye Prabhupada told me that Prabhupada may have, longer hair, but he has to shave every day. But I'm an old man. What can I say? What can I do? This is love is like that. You cannot force it. You cannot demand. You cannot. But after some time, we have to become mature in bhakti. If we're practicing after 20 years and 30 years, and we're still in that level of mode of ignorance and passion, something is wrong. But still, we're not going to ostracize you. No. Ours is a movement of reformation. Cleansing the heart.
With patience.
If something is wrong, You should ask someone who's more senior. Prabhuji, you see anything wrong with me? And you can only ask that if you have a relationship with that devotee. It's like the other day, like chastising. I made that comment. Only if you have a relationship. Bhakti Bhagavat Maharaj, he says that. I've heard from him. Only if you have a relationship, you can chastise this person. Or if you're in the management, as Prabhupada says, what? The management, their main purpose is to look for mistakes. What? Yeah, so they can be corrected. If no one will correct you, then you're not going to make further advancement. And one should not chastise or correct someone out of false ego. That's number one rule. If it is done with false ego, then that is in the bodily platform. I'm only envious of you. I hate you. I don't like you. I'm chastising you because I want to get rid of you. No, our movement is, hey, let's all go back to Godhead together. Yes? Anything else? So book distribution marathon is coming up. You want to please Srila Prabhupada? Then distribute his books. And when you're distributing books, Prabhupada says that is also Rasa Lila. Being in Rasa Lila. Being engaged in Sankirtan is the topmost social welfare activity. To save the conditioned souls. Give them the opportunity. We have our Sankirtan bus party. They'll be going soon, in a week or so. And I'm sure some of you who stays in Vrindavan, distribute some books, and some of you who are going back to your Prabhu Datta Desh, distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. That's pleasing the most to Srila Prabhupada. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.